Greetings sailors and welcome to The Ring round 3. This time the challenge was a little confusing, a little contradictory because the actual code is armor piercing uppercut. But the challenge is to set fires. Armor piercing shells in this game are generally not known for setting fires, so instead I had to resort to the dirty underhanded tactic of using HE shells instead. As you can see, my ship for this challenge was the York, and as the nation this time is Germany, I decided that not only must I be humble, which I always am anyway of course, but also that some more efficiency than usual is required as well. The last two challenges have required several games to complete, but this time round, well, not only am I aiming to do it in one game, but I'm also aiming to get exactly 5 fires because, of course, that is the most efficient that one can be. So we started off, as per usual, letting the gunners just find their range a bit, you know, get a bit warmed up, and once we'd done that, we got our first fire against that Fiji, and we're actually going to get our second fire against this Fiji as well, who must be feeling a little bit persecuted. In fact, of course, the most efficient thing to have done for this challenge overall would have been to get 5 fires on the same ship, but sadly that Fiji did not live long enough to make that a possibility. So instead I must change targets, and well, this Scharnhorst will have to do. They are the only thing that's close enough right now. Although there is a Königsberg that's also coming into range. It's a little unfortunate that both my targets are both also German, but that can't be helped. So, a nice broadside, and I actually got the third fire. Can I get the fourth? They extinguished that third fire the moment they actually got it, so this next one will stick. And there we go, fire number 4. I can get my 5th fire on this target, that would be quite nice as well, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, as you can see in this match, it was a standard game. We had a bit of the old carousel effect going on. A whole bunch of their ships went around the west side to our cap, and we did the opposite round to their cap. But we have a decent number of ships defending, and although they have some ships that have turned round to try and defend from their side, we have a sufficient force here that we are comfortably winning this so far. In terms of points, in terms of losses, this is quite close, but we do look like we're doing reasonably well. Although it does rather depend on how well our defenders do, of course. We might end up having to cap this one out. This Königsberg is, by the way, getting more than close enough for me to be using AP shells, but I'm still on a mission for that last fire, and with maximum efficiency I get it with the killing shot. So there we go. All that's really left to tackle now is the Scharnhorst, and there is also of course an enemy Mayhan whom I definitely haven't forgotten about at this stage. I was merely lulling them into a false sense of security by going in a nice straight line. So torps out on the Scharnhorst. It's the usual 6 kilometre range on these, and of course the Scharnhorst has their own torps, but I have more of them. And the York is manoeuvrable enough that unless I do something really silly like sail straight broadside to them, at which point I would be in trouble from their guns anyway, I should be relatively fine. As it turns out, it's actually my flooding that kills them, so that's quite nice. Not a torp kill, but nonetheless, that's one German battleship down, but lo and behold, there is another. The enemy Gneisenau has steamed back as well. And although those guns are more dangerous, because they've only got 6 of them, and because the Gneisenau is not renowned for its accuracy, I fancy my chances here. I could get unlucky and actually eat a bunch of citadels, but as I say, I think I've got a pretty decent chance of actually getting close enough to drop yet more torpedoes, because my torpedoes are basically just about reloaded. There's that mayhem, by the way. As I said, lulling them into a false sense of security. Definitely didn't totally forget they were there. Yes. So, with them out the way, it just leaves this Gneisenau who put their own torps out really far too early and in a wide spread. As for my own torps, you can see the angles on the York are quite good. And so, although there's a good chance he's going to dodge all of these, I can simply angle the other way and get out my other torps. And at this point I'm at such a close range that he doesn't have much a chance of dodging, unless I were to completely mess up here. But as I'm such a good player, not an amazing player, we have established this, you know, I'm far too humble to say I'm an amazing player, but as I'm such a good player, I get the kill with really relative ease. And so not only have I managed to get exactly the required number of fires, but I also managed to make some decent use of my armor piercing so that the mission name didn't entirely not make sense, and I got some torp hits and some floodings on top of it as well. And all of that was able to propel me most humbly and efficiently to the top of the team list. So all in all, this was a possibly easier to do challenge in one go than some of the others, which were maybe a little more reliant on RNG, but nonetheless it was quite enjoyable, and I got to play a ship that I enjoy playing at the same time, so that was quite nice. As with the last two rounds, I shall be letting you, the viewers, pick my vote for me, and you'll be able to do that in the poll in the description below, which I'm aware is not ideal, it being a Patreon poll. I had to do that for the second round as well, because I discovered the YouTube poll option only gives you 5 possibilities, which is only one up on what Twitter allows you, so that wasn't very good. It seems like a very strange restriction to have. Anyway, nonetheless, you can do that down below. You can go and vote for who you want me to vote for, and, well, hopefully I will see you in the next round. Wait, what am I saying? Of course I'll see you in the next round, because, of course, everybody's going to vote for me again, of course. Or so I would say, if I weren't so gosh darned humble. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, you can do all the usual things down underneath it. And, of course, as always, stay tuned for more.